Our production manager over here, Mr. Hurley, says I'm coming out hot. Is that right, ladies? How about falling down? The other night, I had the pleasure and privilege of speaking at Tom Aldridge's Mining Foundation dinner, and just as I get to the mic, how many of you were there the other night? If you didn't have a chance to see it, there's a great videos online Tom's going to talk about in a little bit. But as soon as I got up and grabbed the microphone, the fireworks went off. And I'm thinking to myself, that's what you get for giving an Irishman a phone or microphone. Well, we're closing out the year. As they say, nice to know, good to know, who should know, and who cares. Well, frankly, most of us do care. That's why we're here. So thank you for being here. We're also a little bit of a conflict. We have the SME conference, the SME conference was yesterday. Monday. Okay, I got part-timer's disease. The AEMA conference is in Spokane. Some people are heading up to Vegas for the Western States Caucus. And a lot of people are already trying to get in their holiday vacations before the end of the year, otherwise they may lose their vacations. So, but that doesn't discount, well, why we're here today and what we're going to do. But before we get started, I'm going to digress just a second. This fall, we have acknowledged 9/11, the passing of Senator McCain, the passing of President George H. Bush. Friday, we're going to be honoring and remembering Pearl Harbor. And next Tuesday is Veterans Day. And I was watching some of the funeral this morning and listening to some of the speakers. But what I was most amazed at was how everybody from both political parties came together, as they do in history, to recognize one of the leaders of our country. And it's a great message that I need to do better at carrying, because my grandkids really don't understand the history of how we got to where we are today. They may know who President Trump is, they may know who Hillary Clinton is, President Obama, and maybe a little bit about President Bush, but before that, they probably haven't figured out too much. They heard about President Clinton, but now they're like, Grandpa, they're old. But what's important, despite our political ideologies and our challenges and our difference, it's important that we remember, if it wasn't for those challenges, if it wasn't for those debates, if it wasn't for that opportunity to share with each other the reasons that we agree or disagree, and to battle vigorously for our positions. But I've traveled halfway around the world, and I've seen places that don't have what we have. So I would ask you to do one thing as we move forward into our next year, is to join with me in helping better educate our kids and our grandkids about the past and the present and our goals for the future. Because without our teaching, they really won't know. I'm not sure what they learn in school anymore, but I do know this: the best teachers in life are parents and grandparents. And actually, I've found being a grandpa, they listen to me more now than they listen to my daughters. True? Yes. So anyway, so that's what I would ask. And as we move into the next year with the hope for a better opportunity, and our industry is really probably on, it's like a teeter-totter. We go back and forth and permits, and we're looking for this and looking for that, and copper prices and everything else. But our industry really is on an upswing. And I honestly believe that a couple of these projects that we've been sort of patiently biting our tongue to get through will come to fruition. And we're going to be a very busy group of people. And that is my hope for the future, and that's what I believe that we're going to be able to accomplish next year. So when you speak to your elected officials, disagree with them if you must. But remember that people voted them in. and we have to respect that part of the process. And in order to make change, we have to be much more involved and much more engaged. So with that, it's on with the show. How are you doing, Sydney?
Well.
Good. I'll let you finish eating. Okay. Tom, come up, educate us on the Mining Foundation. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's start right here in the corner in the back and start with the introductions.
White Burns Factory Motor Parts.
Anthony McAfee, Factory Motor Parts. Donald Bottom, Arizona Mining Association.
Michael Potts, Crosspoint Communications, formerly Creative Communications.
Christina Sally Hudbay, Rosemont Copper.
Here you go, Tom.
Rachel Reisner, Glenn Hudbay, Rosemont Copper.
Jeff Martin, Proven Lubrication.
Dan James, Ag and Construction.
Ray Valencourt, OVG Mining Solutions.
Jessica Milnes, Construction Corporation.
Jim Warren, Border Construction.
Eva Martinez, Telecom National Communications Agent.
Chris Metagon, Marriott Hotels.
Steve Denny, Bronner Group.
Josh Carter, Meridian Engineering.
Chris Wilson, IEC Supply. Suncoast Strategy, Alien Aldrich.
Ryan Wagner, Command Industrial Technology.
Josh Jones, Flanders Electric.
Dale Schock, Flanders Electric.
Kevin Gilbreth, Pioneer Equipment.
Michael Carruthers, Commercial Real Estate Group.
Brent Bonnet, Phoenix Pumps.
Tiffany Morris, Pearls and Brady Walker. Lexi Sharp, Pearls and Brady. Kathy Prather, Pima J. Ted, Career and Technical Education School District.
Alex Huckabee, Governing Board, GP with J10, and also the Board of Southern Arizona Construction Career Days.
John White, Industrial Engineering.
Chris Nealon, Love to Share Insurance.
Greg Keller, Nino and More.
Curtis Cook, Nino and More.
Jake Henry with Money Staffing.
Gene Wakem with Likely Engineers.
Brent Alexich with Burns McDonald Engineering.
Dan Wong, Burns McDonald Engineering.
Colleen Edwards, Architect Labs of Tucson.
Mike Lima, Houston Electric Power.
Chad Hauser, Granite.
Jim Bergman, Arizona Electric Motor Service.
Douglas Langford, Arizona Electric Motor Service and Drive Systems.
Bill Netherton, Meter Logic Networks and
Eric Barnard, Rain for Rent.
Bill Arnold, Williams Journal Winner.
Greg Madden, Process Technology.
Bob Metz, Professional Minerals Development.
Larry Dykers, Tri-Minerals Operations.
Eric Anderson, Redbird Tire.
Brad Moyer, Redbird Tire.
Shamala Nithya with Saguaro Geoservices.
Bob Cummings, Saguaro Geoservices.
Randy Harris, Western Technology.
I'm Reed Larson with Save the Scenic Santa Rita's. Just kidding.
I'm ready to make my
Not here. Scott Clark, Bowman Consulting as well.
Wow. Still my heart.
Steve Christie, member, Pima County Board of Supervisors, District 4.
Beth Borozon, I work with Supervisor Christie.
Raul Padilla with M3 Engineering and Technology. Alberto Bennett, M3 Engineering and Technology.
Stacy Bramazio with Florence Copper.
Alex Mayo, Access Recruiting.
Martin Donatos, Access Security.
James Stewart with the Circle.
Michelle Lammers, The Circle.
John O'Neill with Roma Construction.
Craig Lucero, South 32.
Tom Aldrich with E3 Strategies. I'm also the executive director of the Mining Foundation of the Southwest, and I am an Amigos board member, so filling a lot of hats. First of all, we had a tremendously successful banquet on Saturday night. Our 58 sponsors that amounted to $120,000 for our education outreach program. Pam Wilkinson has been doing this for about 10 years. She's retiring in April. We have a new outreach coordinator, Molly Radwani. They reach about 10,000 students a year in middle schools, high schools across all of Arizona, another couple thousand adults. That's what the bulk of the money goes to. And then we also support student chapters at the universities of SME. So just an amazingly successful year. I saw many of you at the banquet. I think everybody had a really, really good time. We appreciate it. One of the things I do want to explain to people is the Mining Foundation membership in it is not companies, it is individuals. Our memberships are $100. That entitles you to be a voting member. $250 is a silver membership, and $500 is a gold membership. And we rely on our individuals to get the word out about mining and explaining to people that everything that we have today doesn't exist if we don't have mining. And the mining that takes place in Arizona takes place on, I think it's 0.2% of the land area, and it's not very much. So many of our opponents out there, save the scenic Santa Ritas, for instance, we're only talking about a small land, and we mine where we find it. You can't move it. We can only get it there. So anyway, go to our website. You can join, become a member. You can see the tab up there. Website is miningfoundationsw.org. We'd love to have you as a member. And our newest member is Kathy Prather from JTED over there. So, hello. Thank you.
You remember that comment about political civility? You still want to introduce yourself? Oh, I can't help myself. The young lady over there with the camera, would you like to update us on SME?
Sure. SME Tucson chapter, we. Okay, don't want you to be in trouble. So, SME Tucson chapter, our next meeting is January 9th. We meet at the Sheraton. So we have, many meetings planned for the coming year, January, February, March, lots of interesting speakers. So please check out our website and come to one of our upcoming meetings or events. I wanted to also mention that we also had our scholarship fundraising dinner back in November. It was a really successful campaign this year. I believe we raised close to $38,000, which is up from the last several years. So we appreciate everyone's generosity, and we directly gave out scholarships to U of A mining students, although it's open beyond the U of A as well. But we awarded almost $24,000 in scholarships. So that's, I think, the big news with SME Tucson chapter. Again, be sure to go to the website, SME Tucson, or tucsonsme.org, and check out all the great meetings and speakers we have coming up this year.
They really do have a great audience of speakers as well. So if you have a chance, it's a Wednesday evenings, right? Yep. Tuesday, second Wednesday every month? Yep. Okay. James. Not James?
Yes.
It is James. Part-timer's disease is really catching up with me here.
Thank you, Rick. I was asked just to come in and give a brief update on a couple of projects that we have going with the SARCO. First off, I'd really like to say thank you to the Alliance and the Coalition for all the support throughout the years with these projects. Of course, with the Ray Land Exchange, it's been over 2 decades since we've been trying to make this happen. We recently found out after 23 years, there's another 3-month delay. The BLM wants their attorneys to review the final supplemental EIS before going out for publishing. So it's a little disappointing, but we're going to continue to keep the pressure on the BLM, and we will be looking for your guys' support in the future to help with keeping that pressure on. In addition, with the Ripsey Wash project, we are literally on the verge of receiving our record of decision from the Army Corps of Engineers, the lead agency for the NEPA process. I was hoping to have it this week, but they assure me that it's in the LA office, and it's on Dave Casanaw's desk for signature. So once we get that record of decision, that's going to give us a pivot point to start investing in the engineering required to move through detailed engineering and construction. We expect to spend 2019 on some site characterization work out at the RIPSI project. There's about 11 cultural sites that we have to recover, store, and develop a report for that. So that's also going to be going on in 2019. We expect to see construction start in 2020 with some civil work related to the highway, trail relocation, and starter dam embankment. We look forward to any questions that you have.
What's the name of that project again and where?
It's the RIPSI Wash Tailing Storage Facility project. It's about 4 miles southwest of the Ray Mine. Yeah. Tom?
Do you have an estimated cost of the project yet, James?
Yes, so we're at the point right now, we're going to finish the pre-feasibility level engineering. We expect the project to be over $200 million. So far, we've invested almost $24 million in land purchase, state land purchase, that was $6.3 million. Permitting, that was about $6.5 million, and the engineering work, so, yeah, so. Okay, I look forward to any questions after that you guys may have. Thank you.
Don? Come on down. We drug Don here from Phoenix AMA office, so.
Thank you. I guess I didn't really anticipate speaking today, but we do have a few things I can talk about. Right now, Steve Trussell, our executive director, is working extremely diligently with regulators on the state 404 assumption for Arizona and the mining multi-sector general permit. So there's more details to come on that, but he's working extremely hard to make sure that we have great conditions for mining in this state. Just by a show of hands, and I'm hoping it's going to be pretty strong, showing who all attended the foundation's event on Saturday. So it looks like close to probably 40 to 50%. That was an exceptional event. I want to congratulate Tom, his officers, his board, and all the governors, because that was an exceptional event. So I just want to give him a quick round of applause one more time. It's not that often that you get that kind of a collection of mine professionals and advocates in one room. So that was impressive, to say the least. But so just recently, before I came here, I went to the University of Arizona's San Xavier mine. And just also by another show of hands, who also is either aware or been to that site? Fantastic. That is that's an example of how the University of Arizona is working to showcase this state as a place where, hey, there's innovation going on, not only with our surface mining operations, but also in efforts to advance the underground mining as well. So they're doing a great job. If you haven't had a chance to go out there, come see me after I speak, and I'll be happy to give you James information if you'd like to go out there and do a tour or see what they're doing on out there. And lastly, I wanted to make you all aware that the Arizona Mining Association and the Arizona Rocks Products Association is doing an annual luncheon on the 14th of this month. That's a Friday, and it's free to attend. We do have several raffle opportunities. All the proceeds are going to Truckers Against Trafficking, so I'd love to see you all come and contribute to that effort. And again, thank you, Rick, so much for the opportunity to speak. If anyone has any questions about what the association is doing, feel free to see me after the meeting. Thank you.
And that election will give them an opportunity to rub elbows with some legislators.
That's right. Last year's event, I actually wasn't there, but Governor Ducey did speak, and there will be multiple different legislators, both from the House and Senate, amongst other regulating bodies. So if you want to give me a chance to come speak with somebody you've been looking to if you've been looking to come speak with somebody you haven't had a chance to get with, this will be a great opportunity. So thank you.
Thanks, Don. Miss Hay?
Nobody has any other updates?
No, well, we're going to let you go first because I'll let him speak if there's any time left. I can't help it. I can't help myself.
Okay.
All right, hang on, let me find your PowerPoint.
How many of y'all came to casino night on Sunday night? Was that a rip-roaring good time or what? At the party of the year. Yeah, it was great fun.
Use the microphone.
Oh, microphone.
Here.
Microphone. It was the party of the year, though. Do you agree, Jim? And did I see Crosspoint Communications in that back row? The brand newest Amigos member, right? Yay! Wanted to be part of casino night, you know, so joined. So today I wanted to share something that was sent to me yesterday by Cynthia Barber of the Global Supply Chain for Freeport. Wanted to share this with you. It's a presentation that was given last summer. It's been updated a little bit since then, but to my Amigos Board of Directors. And also then in August when we had our Reverse Expo, she gave it to all the Amigos that were present at that meeting. So, but there's a lot of good information here, so I think some of you might want to have your cell phone out and take pictures of some of these screens, because there'll be important contact information and that kind of thing. We haven't had Freeport able to give many updates here at the Alliance, so we thought this was a good opportunity. That's my button. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, a little bit about the global supply chain, about North American operations and the important contacts you'll want to know. Now, many of you are way ahead of me on this and are already very much involved in supplying Freeport properties. So also feel free if you see something here you want to jump in and say, oh, but there's also this, feel free to do so. Engagement with how suppliers can engage with Freeport, opportunities to work together, what's up next, that kind of thing. So here, the global supply chain corporate structure, how it all works, who all the directors are, who does what, and that's just there for your purposes if you want to take a snapshot of that screen so I don't go through and bore everybody reading it all, but it's important information for you to have, especially those new to the industry. I know we've got a lot of new members that are kind of new. Okay, ready to move on? This is, well, a lot of this information can be gleaned by going to Freeport's website, but not this particular slide, I don't believe. More global supply chain corporate structure and support model. You see who does the procurement of goods and services. You've got the contracts and services, goods, inventory, warehousing at under each site manager. And here's the folks. Each of the sites, who's that manager? Under the directorship of Ryan Henry or Bruce Nickel or Daniel Paling. I know that's good information for a lot of folks that are more new to the industry. Get to my notes here. Next. More detail, depending upon what area your company is involved in, who the go-to person is. I don't think any of these names have changed, but if you know of a change, you know, things do happen. Everybody finished with that one? Okay. So it's just part of what she shared was the strategy of managing thank you, of managing, and what's the most important thing is this, the hourglass supply model. You know, we want to make it a win-win in the industry so that the mines get what they need at the right price and the suppliers get to sell the things that they're providing at a price that makes it work for everybody. And so we and the suppliers end of the industry, we know all the details about what it costs. I mean, not just to acquire this thing that we're providing, but the warranties, the inventories, administering it, the freight, the environmental waste and the things we got to do in that end. All of those things lead us to a price that makes sense for us. And then, of course, from Freeport and the other mining industries, there's all those things too that factor in to what makes sense for them, like for instance the life of that particular product. its operations and its maintenance requirements, its warranties, also freight and all of that. So that's a win-win for the supply chain, for the suppliers and the mines, and that's important. And I think that Cynthia Barber shares this every time, because it's important for us to know that in a cooperative relationship with Freeport. So you can go to their website there and find, if you've not already done this, brand new to the industry, and get to that suppliers link there, where you can access a lot more helpful information, get involved, get access to the portals, etc. Good information there. But here's a really pretty exciting slide here to look at what a world leader Freeport is, and the fact that it's not going anywhere and it's going to continue to lead. And I hope you can read at the bottom all the different top producers. But there they are. And this is the most exciting slide to me, because here is the mining rate ramp up. So you see 2018, and there look for 2019 and 2020, because there's been a lot of highlights. And the one that's most exciting to me as we look at any mine, it's this. Because when I started in this industry 25 years ago, and I'd have presentations from ASARCO properties or Freeport properties, and they would come and then they would say, well, the expected mine life of this particular mine is 25 years. Oh, well, it's 25 years later, and now what's the expected mine life of those very properties? Oh, another 25, another 30 years. That is what is so exciting about the future, like you said, Rick. I just get goosebumps when I think about it, about how bright the future is for this industry. Good stuff. So here's why, in terms of Freeport, because of the future development opportunities that exist. So you've got, a lot of in the U.S., of course, we're familiar with Baghdad and Chino and Cobre in New Mexico, and the exciting Stafford project. We've been promised for Amigos a presentation on all that's going on with Lone Star and Stafford and Morenci this upcoming quarter, and we'll go to Stafford and have our event there, right where the action is. So be watching your emails for that, for an Amigos face-to-face luncheon. And then, of course, there's opportunities south of the border also with El Abra and Cerro Verde, and so good stuff is ahead for this industry. Now, I'll skip through a couple of these other slides because they're about Freeport in Indonesia. And, all the intricacies of what they're working out there between the government and Rio Tinto's been exiting from the ownership and that kind of thing. So she shared a lot of detail about that. But since we're the Southern Arizona Business Coalition and the Mining Alliance, I'll skip over the Indonesia stuff, but it is fascinating to see the conditions that they're operating a mine in terms of the logistics of getting things from point A to B. So look at all those shipping containers, 160 loads a day, and that's 14, I think that's something like 14 hours in transportation up to tremendous heights in the mountains. I mean, just the logistics of what they're dealing with in Indonesia. But I'll skip through that and let Cynthia talk about that at a future event. So this was exciting also to me, that in 2017, Freeport did the numbers, and they did business with over 100 Amigos members that they have a supply relationship with, and did business with them in 2017, and that's very exciting to me. And that spend was almost $1 billion. So they are definitely indeed a good customer. And they commit to us, to our suppliers. Fair, reasonable, high integrity, best data for making decisions. That's really important. It gets frustrating if a decision is made, well, that's not the best data. So that's really important. Accountability and driving innovation and creativity. Was so fun about our Reverse Expo last August. How many of you were participated in the Reverse Expo? Was that a great time? Thank you, thank you. And I think Freeport had, I think 7 of their commodity managers there having speed dates. But I know my Amigos members got a lot out of having those speed dates, getting face-to-face with some decision makers. But we hear from the mines and Freeport called me afterwards and said that they were introduced to new supply ideas, new suppliers they hadn't known of, to be able to expand their supply base. So it was meaningful for them as well. So again, this August, second weekend in August, we'll be up there in Flagstaff, so put that on your calendar. So trust is an expectation, and all suppliers adhere to our supplier code of conduct. And that is important in our industry for sure. And then the value that we, and this isn't just Amigos, SABC, AMA, we provide the mines with those important ground troops to let the local legislators, to let government officials, to let community leaders know about how important these mines are to us. I always tell folks at the legislature that Amigos is a small and mid-sized business organization, because the people out in the community, they can relate to somebody who sells tires. They might never have been to a mine. They might have a picture in their mind, something they saw in an old movie about what a mine is. But they can relate to that guy next door. Oh, yeah, he works for a tire company. Or they can relate to somebody who drives a truck or operates a drone. How cool is that? That's mining. So that's what we provide. And then they are letting us know that as we go forward, all these upcoming expansion plans, you saw that list of expansion plans in many of their properties, they're looking for more ways to partner with us. And we're looking forward to that. And so the last question they ask is, what else can we do to partner together more? And let's just do it. So I thank you. Cynthia does a much better job at sharing that, by the way.
Thank you, Sydney. No, I think Sydney's, weren't you AMA and Amigos president at the same time?
Yeah, for 5 years. That killed me.
Oh, thanks, Sydney. Oh, that was great. How do we get out of here?
I love that. I love that slide. If you know about the grinding mills, it says, oh, did it come to a stop? No, it came to a grinding halt. A little conveyor.
Okay, I'm going to do a little promotion here for the Southern Arizona Business Coalition. On Saturday night, we were honored to be recognized by Tom, their committee, and their board for the efforts we've been putting forth almost the last 7 years. And it was a great sort of a segue into where we're going, hopefully for the next 7 years.
People often fail to realize the important connection between mining and the products they consume. Many will also vilify mining for its environmental impact, yet not even acknowledge their own growing demand for the resources they need to live every day. This includes food, shelter, energy, transportation, electronics, and jobs. To them, along with some very vocal opponents, mining is seen as an enemy of the environment. This is why the Southern Arizona Business Coalition got involved. Formed in 2012 by Bill Ossenmacher, CEO of Cade Industries, and Rick Grinnell, founder of Smart United Business Strategies, the Southern Arizona Business Coalition gathered to support mining and its ancillary industries. Their initial focus was on the Rosemont Copper Project, with outreach efforts to educate the community, as well as mining industry partners and concerned political bodies to counter uninformed, emotional statements that could impede new and expanding ventures. SABC has since expanded their voice of support for mining throughout Arizona to help build a strong economic future. SABC activities also include mining appreciation events and regular Mining Alliance meetings that encourage all groups to attend and participate. They have grown to become the voice of mining and business support in Southern Arizona, as well as around the state in partnership with the Arizona Mining Association, Amigos, the Arizona Rock Products Association, the SME, and the Mining Foundation of the Southwest. Focusing on the strengths and opportunities of our region, SABC encourages responsible industries to come to Arizona and will support their growth and advocate for their success and longevity. Our future and that of our children and grandchildren depends on a sustainable business environment that encourages the responsible development of our natural and human resources. SABC is fighting for that future.
I have to thank our production manager, Jim Hurley, for producing this video for us. And but just real quick, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between SABC and Amigos and AMA and ARPA? Well, we all actually have sort of a different position, but always working toward the same goal. I had the pleasure, Bill and I started this because it was important that we saw that Rosemont needed third-party endorsement, not just people that they hired directly. And I worked with them for 2.5 years as a consultant to try to do outreach and education. So when Bill and I started this, we partnered up with Sydney at the time and really began to expand our opportunities and, more importantly, the education process. I have a privilege of representing you, the mining companies, and the people that support our industry. It really gives me a chance to continually learn. My grandfather used to say, the body expires when the mind retires. Never quit learning. And thanks to a lot of good people who've been willing to share their education about this industry with me, it's allowed me the opportunity to go out and talk to audiences and then bring people, the experts, with me to further expand on the issues themselves. How did the mining go? Where did they find the cores? What does it all mean to us? But I'll tell you a quick story. I was in the hospital one of several times actually having knee replacements. But I had this shirt that said, without mining, there's no gems to show. And the nurse came in and she said, "Oh, you're one of those mine people." I said, "Well, those mine people are putting my ability to walk again." And that stethoscope that goes around your neck and that needle you're about to stick in my ass, that's all because of the mines. I hope you enjoy yourself. But the reality is, and so when we did our video, the one thing I didn't catch it till afterwards, but medicine. How integral mining is to medicine in our society. And some hospitals are going to copper into the surgical units because it displaces bacteria at a much faster rate than steel. So this is just some of the opportunities that we get to look forward to. People ask us, well, if I belong to Amigos, can I join you? You can do whatever you need, but do whatever it is, belong to somebody. And then when we call and we rally the troops and say, we need you to step up, show up. And that's the greatest thing about this industry is when I ask people to show up to a meeting, they come out in full force. They are not hesitant about bringing the armies. And all of a sudden the opposition's looking at us and we speak to them with respect, but very firm and committed in our positions. And we don't back off. We don't apologize for who we are and what we do. We let them know that because of us, they have the ability to be here in the first place. So with that, I would like us to look into, see what organization you want to belong to. We're going to be updating our website for next year to include another program that we're going to partner with. So we're going to be doing updating our website, changing this, but one of the big links we're putting up is the careers link. And what that link will allow people to do is come to our website, drop down, and then go directly to each one of the companies that are going to be signing up to post their jobs. We're in a shortage of opportunities of people in this industry. Ask anybody in the construction, entry level, engineers, drivers. Everybody's like, we need more people. So Ted, how important you are to our industry. How important the School of Mining with Brad and Mary over there. And thank goodness Mary Poten's back. But we need to remind everybody and then not be afraid to tell people what a great career this is. How many of people have grandchildren right now sort of looking for what are they going to do when they grow up? I know I do. But if you have kids or grandkids, people you know, they're looking for a career. This is not rocket science, but you also have to be smart enough to understand, here's the rules and this is what you do. And the fortunate part of this industry, once you get in the door, the people that have been there, they will teach our children. They will teach those people coming up the pipeline how to do their job and do it better. It's one of the finest industries I've ever been affiliated with. So with that, I bid you all Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And if you have any questions, comments, oh, you got a raffle, don't you?
I do.
I tried to buy a cup.
You got a ticket. Anything else? No cheese. Pass that down. Thank you. In the back?
Moscow Mules.
Going that way. Okay, anybody else? All right. Get these in here.
Here.
I'm going to have you draw.
Oh, my number?
Well, the odds of that would be very remote, but.
Okay.
Oh, this feels lucky. Okay. So, we have 8 mugs. We're gonna draw 8 tickets. So draw 8 tickets out of there. He's trying to figure out, draw his own. Okay, there's 1.
I didn't look.
Come on, give me 8.
Oh.
Go faster that way.
Well, I gotta
Line 'em
do
up
this
right here.
randomly, though.
That one's yours.
Asking a lot of him.
I know, you gotta be smarter than
He
the
can
bag.
handle it. Okay, there's some, yeah.
Quiet, Greg.
Okay, 3, you got 3? Okay.
I
there's
got 4.
4, we got 4. 5.
Good thing it's not wet.
6. 2 more, 2 more.
I put super glue on mine in there.
There's a lot of things that say good things about the mining industry, but none better than Moscow Mule mugs, I'm just gonna say. Although they're empty, sorry. Okay, here we go. The last 3 numbers, yeah, we got no duplicates. That's good, that's always good. Last 3, 079, come up and get a mug. 079. You did it, okay. 053, come up and get a mug. 053. Come on, you only have 1 ticket. 053.
Greg, he's right here.
Hey, you've had more of my mugs, haven't you? Okay.
I'll redonate it.
You don't want another one? No, he's redonating. Okay, grab another one. Okay. Grab a mug. 092. Only 1. 092. He was greedy there. 092. There he is. 047. There's 1, okay. 072. That back row is lucky. 104. Okay. 069. Yay. 089. And 098. I trust you. I believe you. Go ahead, grab it. Cheers.
Hey, you're welcome.
Last one. So with that, we bid you adieu.
Thank y'all. Thank you.